Welcome to OneNorthStar's expanded view on the 2024 stock market outlook. If you watched our prior videos which we posted, you would have heard us talk about why we think that 2024 is a positive year for yourself in the stock market. We expect somewhere in the range of 12 to 17%. So as a midpoint, we would say about 15% return for the coming 2024 year. Yes, it might sound controversial again, given the imminent calls of recession that have been issued by the pundits over the last year for that inevitable recession that has so far not materialized, in not just in 2022, but also not in 2023. And you will see continuous GDP growth happening around us in 2024. So 15%, give or take, in that range of 12 to 18% is what we expect. So, just picking a midpoint of 15%, which is far right and perhaps a little more aggressive than what you have seen typical pundits talk about for the expected 24 return profile. Let's talk about why we are positive, right? As to why we think that might be the return profile. We talked about why as an election year, those tend to be a little milder from a return perspective, because 2023 on an S&P basis was closer to a return of about 24%. So 15%, while it's above average, is not going to meet the 2023 return hurdle, but it's still going to be nicely up and positive. 15% is a nice return profile to look forward to. The reason why we think we get somewhere in that vicinity is, one, this is a very young bull market. Remember, it bottomed in October of 2022, and since then it just has been close to about a year and a half. So a relatively young bull market. And typically bull markets continue unless there are extraneous factors, which we don't see happening in the horizon, which are trillions of dollars worth. To be fair, you might have unfortunate events happening in the Middle East, but they don't impact it in a $1 trillion state. That's what you have to watch out for, an impact which we don't foresee, which could be taking off about $1 trillion worth of GDP. That's what would bring on a bear market in our view at this time, which we don't see. So that said, that's why we are more positive given a younger state of the bull market, which just started in October of 2022. So that's why in the second year of the bull market, we continue to see forward progress, and it's slowly chugging higher. If you watched our prior video, we also talked about how momentum might shift from growth to value. And so that'll be continuing to be something to watch out for, but it'll still from an S&P perspective, be nicely positive. Three, if you think about, the young bull market, second year, presidential, election year. At the same time, when you look back historically, very similar in the past years when the president has been, doing the second term, whether it's a Democratic president or it's a Republican president, irrespective, he, unfortunately, as yet not a she, he is a known commodity. And so there is less uncertainty. And markets are driven by uncertainty always. The uncertainty drives volatility on the downward side, and certainty drives volatility in the upward side, in our opinion. And so there's more certainty knowing who the candidates are. In this case, both are reasonably known to us. One is a sitting president, one is an ex-president. Very unusual for an ex-president to come back. But that said, both are known personalities for us, and so that tends to drive, again, positivity in the election year, and so that's another added momentum on the positive side. That's why we think we continue to remain positive in 2024 from an outlook perspective. Hope that's been useful to you. Please watch for our continuing commentary as to why we think 2024 remains a positive year.